Sup guys? Since I took apart this bike and dropped the engine out of it, I figured I would do a quick video on why. Make a long story short, massive oil leak coming from the front. Here is essentially what I'm doing to repair that, or at least assess it and try and look. But I think I've got it fixed. So here's basically what I've done, and I'll give you a couple of hints on what to do if you have this problem too. Here we go, check it out. This is the front cylinder head cover for my 1999 Honda Shadow Aero 1100. And that bolt right there is stripped out. Anything 1997 or earlier on these, this cover is a three-piece cover. They actually work very similarly, but from 1997 on, you're gonna have this one-piece cover. We'll go ahead and we'll start with these 14mm bolt nuts here. We'll get those off, and then we'll start working the studs out. You can see it's been, somebody tried to perform a fix, but wasn't successful. All of that RTV on there. You're also going to want to remove this guy here. There we go. Now we can actually turn the crank. And next I'm removing the nut, the bolts from the cam gear. And you'll need to rotate the crank a little bit to get to that next one. Slowly rotate the crank around until you can expose the other bolt. You really don't want these to fall down into this, so make sure you're very careful pulling this bolt out. Otherwise, you're going to be tearing the entire engine apart to get it out of there. You can slide that to the side a little bit, and you can slowly lift out your cam. And next, you've got these two 10mm bolts. You can pop those up, and then you can remove the head here. Looks like somebody's tried to fix this head gasket before, and like everybody, they use RTV instead of a head gasket. You do have to remove this spark plug hole to get the cam chain able to free up so that you can get that out. When you remove this, the cam chain's going to want to slide all the way down, which isn't really a big deal since you're removing this all the way anyway. And rebuilding this front cylinder. So. There we go. Now you should be able to pull this up. Free and clear. Put it one way, a little more than the other. There we go. There she goes. my oil leak is caused because this guy right here, my cylinder, has this little oil passage right here. And the bolt that went down into that was what stripped out of this aluminum piece of aluminum, this chunk of aluminum. It's, as you can see, an oil passage. And any oil pressure is gonna find its way up through this bolt hole and wanna move its way out of that. You can always rest assured if it's got a copper washer, it's probably got oil pressure behind it, like this one did. Lucky for me that if I can't repair this, I could probably find one and replace it with a different cylinder. But I'm gonna try and repair the threads. And so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and do some research and find me some repair kits for those threads right there. So we'll be back in a few. What do you say? I didn't do any video of me actually installing this and doing the drilling. I just didn't think about it when I was doing it. I got back from picking up the insert kit and just went to work. When you do an insert like this, you are inserting a steel thread into an area where you've drilled out an area. Now, because this is an oil passage and you can see where the head gasket seats, I was hopeful that I wasn't going to have to worry about it getting widened too much when I had to drill this out. For this particular job, you have to use a 21/64 drill bit before you tap this. And essentially it was just perfect in size for me to be able to do this, tap this. Hopefully this isn't gonna disrupt any oil flow. It probably isn't, but it's gotta fix the leak. I've gotta be able to get the threads now. It's hard to see them, but you can see that little lip of the thread insert down there. That's the only area that is a problem on this. And if that holds, which it seems like it's going to, this is our bolt that goes in there and everything screws in nice and good. So we got our new cylinder base gasket right here. Slide that in there and over our, notice I've got the dowels in place already. Go. Whoops, dropped my weight there. Let's pick that back up. Okay, we got our head gasket down. We got our tensioner in. Slow and steady, we're into the race. Should be lined up pretty good. Just slide right on. There it goes. So you just gotta get that back in there, threaded in. And you can let the cam chain just sit there. Ain't gonna go anywhere. Alright, boys and girls, I skipped ahead because, you know, lunchtime and all that stuff. Now, the cam is in. If you, depending on how you took out this cam, you may or may not want to double check and make sure that your rear cam is in the correct position. And the way to do that is you physically have to take this cover off and determine if this cam, which will have a little R on the top of the flange here, is facing up. If that is facing up, then you're in good shape. You should be good to go. Thumbs up. The pin in here holding the cam chain tensioner loose right now, and now that everything's basically where it needs to go, I can release that and put some tension on the cam chain now. And we're going to turn that clockwise until I can see all that. There. Start here, we'll go around the edge that's going to seat on that guy. Just a thin layer. You want to overdo it, put a nice thin layer on there. Obviously you'll want to have cleaned off any old RTV or any old sealer before you put new stuff on there. Because this will be the grand test of our thread repair. Once I get this on. Let's see what happens with the old girl. These are 29 foot-pounds for all of your 14 millimeter, and all of your 12 millimeter are going to be 20 foot-pounds on the torque. Here we go. Let's see if we can get 20 psi, or 20 foot-pounds is what we're aiming for on this bolt right here. This is our repaired thread. So far, so good. Hey, there's 20 pounds. Here we go. Now, with any luck, we just fixed our problem, and we can stuff this motor back in this bike and go ride it on Sunday. And it's Friday, and it's like a day away, 2 days away. I gotta get this done. I'm gonna call it a day after that, but I'm gonna stuff this thing in there tomorrow and see if we can get it to see if we can get it to start. If I can get the thing to start, I'll be a happy camper.